G'day, welcome back to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of Illusions of Glory. In the last video we finished the spring of 1916 and we're about to go on to the hot, sweaty, mosquito-infested Pripyat marshes in the summer of 1916. We have a Balkans mandatory offensive for the Allies, and we have a Balkans mandatory offensive for the Central Powers as well. During the last turn we got Greece in to help us. We were extremely lucky that the CP player had just gotten rid of the whatever card it was. The King Constantine card, and he used it for something other than an event, or else Greece would have come in and then become a Central Powers ally. So the Allies are looking good at this time. Righto, so time to get into it, and we have the Allies first. First action is a event. So we have the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, which cannot be played as an event because November coup has not been played yet. We have the Turkish desertions, which will reduce their current LCUs, but I'm trying to hold that until they play Turkish reinforcements. And we had the Salonika invasion, but we don't have any LCUs at the moment in Lemnos, so I can't really play that either. So in that case, I have to play either the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk for its ops or replacement value, or the Salonika invasion for the same, and they're both a 2 ops card with 1 Russian replacement. Right, now if we're going to talk ops, I've got to do an attack into the Balkans, so I'm going to try and get some more troops down here to do that. And by the same token, the CP has to do an attack in the Balkans, so it could get a bit messy. So I'm going to play the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk for its ops points, so that's 2 ops points for us. And I am going to activate this little Greek unit down here in Lamia, and I am going to activate "12 Corps." So 12 Corps first is going to go 1, 2, 3 to Novi Sad and take control of that for the Russians. I forgot to put a marker on to Temesvar as well, so for the guards. So that's done. And as much as I really don't want to move these troops from here, I need to try and protect Salonika a bit as well. And that's that for them. Okay. Over to the Central Powers. And they have an event as well. So they have only 1 event that they can play, which is Turkish reinforcements. So they can either play that, or they have to play that card for its 2 ops, or the Tannenberg combat card for its 2 ops, and again both have 1 German replacement point. And at the moment the Germans don't need a replacement point, so we're going to use one of these for ops. Again, the Turks don't really need to beef up more as much as they'd like, because they can't go anywhere at the moment. Bulgaria is still neutral, so they can't come across to Greece. And because Bulgaria is still neutral and Romania is neutral, they can't come up towards Romania either. Right. And again, they don't really want to use Turkish reinforcements at the moment, unless they're forced to. So we're going to use the Tannenberg card for its ops value of 2. Tidy up this mess a bit. Okay, now what do they want to do? Now the trouble with trying to save Salonika is that we've now opened up Athens, which I don't really like either. Okay, so we could try and slow down this potential attack into here by bringing these cavalry units down, and they could attack into Novi Sad, which would be a 4 against a 3 attack. Get rid of that card, sorry. I don't know if that's worth it. We could try and push with the Austro-Hungarians into Gorizia. They've got 9. They could do a flanking attack. I'm pretty sure they can do a flanking on a Texas. Dum, dum, dum. I keep forgetting whether we can do a flank attack into forts. Flank attacks. Okay. Cannot be made against water obstacles. Swamps or mountains, trenches. Yes. Forts. Flank attacks cannot be made against forts that do not contain combat units. Flank attacks can be made against entrenched combat units. Unentrenched, sorry, combat units in a fort. Okay. So they could try a flank attack into here. They're not going across the water or anything like that. So that is going to help them. And they've got Von Bello as a combat card, which says flank attack attempt against a space occupied by an Italian LCU automatically succeeds, and any trench effects are cancelled. So I think that might be their way to go. So they have 2 points. They're going to attack from Trieste, and try and put in the flanking attack from Caporetto. Right. So that is their cunning plan at the moment. So at the moment, they, as I said, they've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 11, 13. So they have a 13 to 15. They're attacking across a road from Caparato. So therefore, they'll have a -1 to their die roll. The Allies have got 9 at the moment. Okay. Do we have a combat card? No, we do not. Okay. So nothing for the Allies. So we're going to use Von Bello for his combat value and leave the E space free until they do a 1-ops action. So flank attack attempt against a space occupied by an Italian LCU automatically succeeds, and it will also cancel any trench effects. So we have a flank attack. It does succeed, so they're going to do their attack and damage prior to the Allies. Righto, now. Dun, dun, dun. And I think that's about it. Righto, here we go. Low number, low number, low number, low number. No, high number. And they do 7 damage to us. Okay, so 8 core is going to reduce by 2. 14 core is going to reduce by 2. And then 8 core is going to be taken off. So that's 6. And 1 for the SCU. And the Italians lose 1 more troop quality. So they're down to 13. Righto. So we get to counter attack now, and we have 3, 6, 7 with nothing to help. And we get a 3, which is 4 damage to them. So they're going to take 2 on 26 core. And they're going to take 2 on 25 core. And that's their 4. Okay, so because we're in a fort, we can take another step loss to stop the retreat, which we will do. And that SCU is gone. And the Central Powers have still not done their Balkans. Okay. Back to the Allies. The Allies have a C, D, E. And their C is Supreme War Council, which can be played because Italy has been played. And that's the British 14 core, the French 12 core, on any AP controlled Italian supply source, the British 12th and 16th Infantry Corps and French Army Orient 1 and 2 on Lemnos if they have not already entered the game. This is an Italian reinforcement event. So the Italians would drop by 5. And I think we are going to do that because the Italians need a little bit of help. Okay. So let's pull the bits. So we get the British 14th Corps and the French 12th Infantry. On any Allied controlled Italian supply source. Okay, Italian supplied. So we're going to put them down here, I think. I don't know, we've got there. No, we're going to actually put them up in Verona. Okay, and then we get the British 12th Corps and 16th Corps. And the French Orient 1 and 2 as well on Lemnos if they've not already entered the game. Okay, so now we have troops in Lemnos. Okay, so the Italians now have to drop by 5 points, I believe. Yep, 5. Okay, so they're going to drop from 13 to 8. Right. Oh! So, back... Sorry. That's Italian reinforcements. Back to the Central Powers. And they have a C, which is Verdun. And it says, event cannot be played if there is no French LCU on the map board, and there are French LCUs on the map board now. So that would give them 1 war status point and 1 VP unless the AP player immediately removes 1 French LCU from the map board and puts it into the replaceable units box. Bum, bum, bum. No, that's fine. So they're going to play Verdun, for it's an event. And they're going to get 1 war status point, taking them up to 15 as well. So we are now at 30 of our 40 at the moment towards armistice. And they're going to get 1 VP because I am not removing a French unit. So the VPs are now on 13, which is still in the Allies' favour. And we are back to the Allies for their 3rd action. And they have an event. So they are going to play the Salonika invasion. So, -1 VP, so we go back down to 12. Place a landing marker. Landing, landing, landing. Okay, place a landing marker on the sea invasion space connected to Salonika. Ta-da! And land up to 3 AP LCUs from Lemnos on the marker using sea invasion rules. Okay, so we're going to bring the British 12th Corps and the British 16 Corps on to there. And then we can use ops points at a later stage to move them on. And now we've got the sea invasion marker as well. In fact, we're going to put Army of Orient 1 on there as well. No, we're not. Yes, we are. It'll cost 2 to activate this stack. Right. So that is our 3rd, which is an event. And that goes away. And over to the Central Powers, who have an A, B, C. So they have their Turkish reinforcements in A. They have Russian food riots in B. and they have Army of the Bug in C. So Turkish reinforcements, like I said, they'll get the 6th and 15th Turkish Infantry Corps, which is a 2 ops, 1 German replacement, or they have Russian food riots, which will decrease the Russian national will by 1. Place the Russian food riots marker in its space on the Russian Revolution track, which is right up there, ready to go. And that's again a 1, or they've got Army, 1 replacement I should say, or they've got Army of the Bug, which is a 3 3 ops points, and that would be to place the German Guards, 10th, 41st Reserve Infantry Corps, and 1 German heavy artillery on any Austro-Hungarian German supply. So that would be a handy one as well, but that would cut the German troop quality then down to 6. But it can go on to an Austro-Hungarian, which means that they can, an AH-1. So they could place some of them down here in Budapest. They could place the artillery at least in Vienna if they wished. Or they could place some in Prague. But if they start the Russian food riots, then that is going to start to lead towards a Russian revolution, which I really, 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 really don't want. So what do they want to do? It's going to be between the food riots and the Army of the Bug. And as I said before, I think the Germans need to come down and help out the Austro-Hungarians. But let's do the Russian food riots. So straight up, the Russian national will drops down to 10. We get the Russian food riots marker. Oh, where are you? There we are. Russian food riots marker. On there. And that's the start towards the Russian Revolution. Okay, so that was their third action for an event. And how are we doing for time? Tons, I say. Righto, back to the Allies. And they have a C, D, E. The C is the Somme, which is 1 combat point to the... Sorry, I'm just trying to remember. Yes, I did that. I was just trying to remember if I'd given the 1 war status point to the CP, and I had on theirs. So the Somme is 1 war status point to the Allies, and -1 VP unless the CP player immediately removes 1 German LCU from the map board and puts it in the replacement box. Or we have Russian reinforcements, and we get the 1st Guards, 2nd Guards, 5th Cork Infantry Corps, the Russian 5th, 7th and Guards Cavalry Corps. Remove the Russian Guards Infantry Corps from the map board if it is supplied. No! If it is out of supply, destroyed or eliminated, then the Russian 1st and 2nd Guards Infantry Corps cannot enter the game. And these reinforcements are accepted from the troop quality rule. Cannot be played as a reinforcement before Spring 16. And where are we? Spring 16. Yay! Okay. Well, we're actually in summer now. So that's a good card too. And the last one is Romania. So we could bring the Romanians in. Event cannot be played after Russian Revolution begins. Okay, so if we bring Romania in now, that means we're going to get them on the board, and they're not going to be able to bring Bulgaria in if they get that card until next turn. Righto. So I will pause it there. I will find the Romanians, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okie doke. So we have brought Romania in. We've taken one war status point for the Allies, taking them up to 16, so the combined status is now 31, heading towards 40 for armistice. We've increased the Russian national will by 1, so it's gone back up from 10 to 11. Romania's entered as an ally of the Allies. We've received 2 victory points, one for Bucharest and one for Constanta. And troop-wise, okay, so the Romanians ended up with the 1st Romanian army and an infantry SCU at Craiova, the 2nd army and an SCU at Ploiești, the 3rd army at Detkea, or where's that affect, Your Honour, which is here, the 4th army at Foxani, up here. We ended up with an infantry and cavalry SCU in Bucharest, a infantry SCU at Targu J, or whatever it's called, sorry, up there in the mountains, and another infantry SCU at Pitești, which is down here, and 4 SCUs into the reserve box. The Russians at the same time received the 47th Infantry Corps and the 6th Cavalry Corps. They were supposed to all go into Odessa, but because I already had 2 units there, I've placed Infantry Corps into Odessa and the 6th Cavalry Corps into the, as it says, the nearest supplied space that is Allied control, so into Rostov. I could have put it down here into Izmail, but I didn't think there was much sense in that. The Germans received the Alpenkorps SCU. It was supposed to go to Hatzeg here, but because that's Russian control, again it had to go to the nearest Central Powers controlled supplied point. Well, not supplied, but controlled space. So we had a choice of 1-2 into Carlsberg or 1-2 into Arad. And since it's a mountain unit, I put it into Carlsberg because there's mountains there. The Austro-Hungarians had to take an infantry corps from elsewhere on the map and were supposed to put it in Hermannstadt, but they couldn't do that because we've got it controlled, so I put it in Carlsberg. They also had to do that again with another infantry corps. So in fact we took 1 infantry corps from the Italian front here at Rovereto, and I took a corps from here in Krakow, which was the Kuma Corps. They were supposed to go into Schlossberg, so they've gone into Karlberg as well because that is the closest. And they also got the German Schmettau Cavalry Corps, which was supposed to go into Temesvar, so it needed to go into Zabadka or Arad, and if we had to put it here, then these two units could have done a flank attack on it, which I didn't want, so I've put it into Arad, which is another clear area, so it gets any bonus. So the only things left to come on now are the Bulgarians and the other ones that will be affected by that as well. So that is the fourth for the Allies. We'll come in for the fourth now for the Central Powers, and they have a C again, and that is German reinforcements. So they have to have, excuse me, use my words again. They have to use the German reinforcements, or they have to use the Turkish reinforcements. Okay. What to do? What to do? Okay, so if they use the German reinforcements again, that is going to reduce the German troop quality down to 6, which, yeah, is good. The Turks are still held up because Bulgaria is neutral, but as soon as it comes out of the mists, then the Turks are going to be able to move either on Romania or into Greece and start causing some havoc there. Okay, so at the moment, I think let's take the Turkish reinforcements, as much as I didn't want to do that at the moment. And they're going to get the 6th and 15th Infantry Corps. Okay. Turks. And that's their 2 last units. Okay. And I think what we will do is we will stick them straight into Edirne or Edirne with Falkenberg, and that will give them 2 normal infantry corps and effectively a guards corps as well. Righto, do a quick time check again. We're at 33. So we might call it quits there, and then we can come back with the last 2 actions for each side, and the wrap up for the turn. So things are starting to heat up here. Again, both sides still have to do something in the Balkans, which hasn't occurred yet. And everything has sort of come to a grinding halt here again, because now we have these German and Austro-Hungarian forces in the middle of our actual forces, and this is our only supply route. In fact, we took that one as well. We had to come down to there. This is our only supply route for these Russian forces, so we don't want them out of supply. So I've got to start kicking some of this stuff and getting more people down here and shortening this pocket, so our reducing this pocket so our forces are more consolidated and straighten up the front. And I've got plenty of extra forces to help with that. It's just getting them down here. So that's where we stand at the moment. Germans are building slowly to start a major push. We're on the first step towards a Russian revolution. So things could get awfully nasty right across the board. So that's it. Take care, play nice, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.